Hello everyone, welcome to Geeks for Geeks. My name is Nathan Kapla. So let's talk about today's problem. Our problem name is check if two line segments intersect. So here the question said we are given the coordinates of the endpoints, that is P1Q1 and P2Q2 of the two line segments. So we just have to check they intersect with each other or not. If it's just return true, else false. So here we are given the input, and input we are just given the four coordinates, right, that make two line segments. So just we have to check that intersect with each other or not, right? In the first example, yeah, it's not, so that's why the output is 0. In the second example, we again given the four coordinates, yeah, here the output is 1. It means that two line segments they intersect with each other, right? So let's understand this problem better. So first of all, let's understand the intersection point, right? So here we are given the, for example, this is the first line P1, P2, right? Which make P1, P2. So yeah, this is the first line we have, and this is the second line we have. If you clearly see that two line segments, they intersect with each other. So here we just have to return true in this case, right? So let's talk about second test case. So in this test case, again we are just making the two line segments. If you clearly see they are not intersect with each other, right? So here we just have to return false, right? Okay, so I hope you understand the intersection point first, right? So let's move to the next part. To solve this question, we have to understand various terminology, right? So here the first is, let's understand what the meaning of vector here first. So as I tell you, we just given the two, using two coordinates, we are making a line segment, right? So here we have P0 and P1 we have, right? So having some coordinates, here we have some coordinates, right? So that line segment, the name itself is P0, P1, right? So that P0, P1 is called as vector, right? So we can write here, it's like that, right? P0, P1, that particular vector should be look like this, right? Its coordinate will be x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1. I hope you like learn these concepts in your school time, right? So it's a little bit of geometric part, right? So yeah, so I hope you understand now. So let's move to the next part which we have to understood. So what is cross product, right? So cross product, as I said you, here we have two line segments, right? So first, let's assume this is P1, P2, right? And the second one is P1, P3. So it's 3 points, right? So the first is P1 and P2 and P3. We have the coordinates itself, right? So just making with the help of these coordinates, we make P1, P2 and P1, P3, right? So I hope you know that. So just we have to subtract the coordinates value and we get the value of P1, P2 vector, right? Similarly, P1, P3, right? So now we have P1, P2 and P1, P3, right? It means this one and this one. Now, we have to check its intersect or not. If you see here, what's the formula of it? A into B, A determinant and B, and we have to take the angle between these two line segments, right? So here I am written the angle is theta, right? So how we can calculate it, right? Manually, how we can check it? So if you see here, this is based upon right hand rule, right? So in the right hand rule, what we are doing is we just take a eye finger, which means index finger, right? This finger, and we just make our middle finger, and between these two uh, it's called R. We have to check using our thumb, right? If our thumb is in the upward direction, it means it's in the positive direction, right? If it's in a negative direction, it means that it's in the down direction, right? Down means negative, up means positive, right? So yeah, so we can write this A into B like that, P1, P2 and P1, P3, and the same coordinates. We just have to take the difference. After the difference, I hope you know that we just have to take the determinant of that, right? So in the end, we just get it our answer, right? Okay, so I hope you understood the cross product now. So let's move to the next part. So we have to understand this orientation part also. In this orientation part, see, we have the one line segment which is P0, P1, right? Inside P1, P0, P1, we have corresponding its coordinates, right? And we have P2 here, right? Its coordinate is also given to us. So our task is to find the orientation of P2 with respect to P0 and P1. So let's understand what's the meaning of first orientation. So here I am written that part. We are given P0 P1 line, right? We have the P0 P1 line, and we are at P1, right? P1 point, right? It means its direction will be look like this, right? We are at here. We just have to calculate. We have to reach P2 with the help of that line segment we have. So which direction we have to move? Clockwise or anti-clockwise, right? We have two directions now. So if you see here, you are here, right? And your task is to reach P1 from P2, P0, right? Or P1 from P2. So if you see here, if your P2, P1, right? P2, P1, let's make a vector here P0, P2 to P1 and P2 to P0, right? We have to make these things, right? So using this in the coding part, we just make the two vectors, right? According to that, we have to make it, right? So here we have P2, P1, right? This is P2, P1, and we make P2, P0, right? If their multiplication is positive, right? It means that it should be intersect, right? It should be intersect. So how we can calculate? If you see here, what I am doing is I am standing here, right? And P1, if you see here, P1 is anti-clockwise from P0. So P0, it's anti-clockwise, okay? And P2 is clockwise from P1. If I am standing here, I just want to reach to P2, so I just have to move in the clockwise directions, right? So here I am written P1 and P0 and P1 we already calculated, right? So if you see here, both the direction are different, right? So it means that it will be positive, right? It will be positive, okay? So if you see here, in this second case, let's check if it's negative. If it's negative now, P1 and P2, right? Both are in the same direction. Either it's anti-clockwise, either it's clockwise, right? So just do the dry run for this case, right? If you see here, both are in the anti-clockwise direction. It means in the same direction. It means that if your line segment is this, right? And you are calculating a point, right? Which is, for example, P2, right? If you see here, both the lines, this point and your upward points, both are in the same direction, right? Both are in the as anti-clock or clockwise. It means that they are lie in the down part or in the up part. And that means it need not to be like intersect, right? So in that case, negative means it's not intersect, right? I hope you understand this point. So how we can calculate? As I already tell you, just we have to take the determinant of that, right? So here we have x1 x2, right? Here we have the second part, which is y1 y2, and here we have the other parts, right? So we just have to take the just take the multiplication of it. So this is the formula of it, right? So I hope you understand the orientation part. Okay, so in the orientation part, I again repeat, you have the line segment and you have the points, right? For example, your line is P1, P2, right? So you have other line segment which is Q1, Q2. So with respect to this, you have to calculate which direction it moves. It's in the clockwise or in the anti-clockwise, right? Okay. So I hope you understand now. So meanwhile, I again explain this part, right? So let's check now how we can check intersection is there or not, right? So as I said, P1, P2 we have the first line, and P3, P4 we have the another line. So if you see here, so in this line segment we have the direction this. It means that I have the line segment P1, P2. Now just suppose that I'm standing here, right? And I just have to check a next line segment in which direction it is. So if you see here, I am checking P4. I am checking P4 with respect to P1, P2. This is my line segment. I am just checking in which direction your P4 it is, anti-clock or clock. So if you see here, if I am here, so I am in the clockwise direction, right? Okay, so I am in the clockwise direction. So here I am written the clockwise. Okay, now, so with respect to this, you already calculated P4, right? Let's calculate P3 as well. So when I am here, so in which direction my P3 is? It's in the anti-clockwise. It's in the anti-clockwise. It means that both are lie in the opposite direction, right? If your line segment is this, one point is in the upward and second is in the downward. It means that there is a intersection, right? So that's why there is an intersection, right? I hope you understand this. You can also do the trial for a vice versa part. So let's suppose this case, right? Your now line segment is this, right? So it means that I am here right now. Now I have to calculate P1, P3, P2, right? I just have to calculate P1, P2 where it's lie. Now, for example, I am here at P4. I just want to calculate P1 direction. So if you see here, P1 direction is clockwise. Now I'm here. I just have to calculate P2 direction. Where it is? It's in the anti-clockwise. So I hope you understand this. If both the direction are opposite, it means that there is an intersection, right? So from these 2 points, I hope you understood how we can calculate the intersection is there or not. Now let's move to further again a test case. For example, our points are should look like this, right? So P1, P2 is there and P3, P4 is this, right? Okay. So if you see here, let's suppose I just have a line segment P1 to P2, right? So in the direction I'm standing right now here. So I have to check with respect to this line P1, P2, where my P3, P4 lie, right? If you see here, P3, P2 is lie, right? So let's check for the P1. P1 is in the clockwise direction, right? P1 in the clockwise direction. So what I'm doing is I'm simply making this as where my P1, P3 is this, right? So let's suppose I'm standing right now here. So what I'm doing is I have to move to P1. So P1 is here. So it's in the clockwise direction. Similarly, here I have anti-clockwise directions, right? Okay. Now let's check for when my P1, P2 is here. Now I am here. I have to check my P3 and P4. Okay. So P4 is this side. It means it's in the clockwise directions, right? Clockwise direction. Now check where my P3 lie. P3 lie on the line, right? P3 lie on the line. It means that their angle between that part is 180, right? So sine theta, sine 180 is 0. So that's why its answer is 0. If your answer is 0, it means that it should be opposite to your previous value. Previous value is clockwise. It means that it's AC. AC means anti-clockwise, right? So yeah, that will be the trick of this, right? You just have to assume the opposite value according to your previous value, right? So I hope you understand when the line are looking like this, right? It's also intersect, right? So here the answer is yes. Or we can say that true. Yeah, there will be an intersection point, right? Because that point lie on the same line, right? Now let's understand this part when it's not intersecting point. Now, for example, your P3, P4 is this, right? Now I'm standing here. I have to check where my P1, P2 lie. So if you see here, when this is my line segment, I have to check P1, P2 where it's lie. In the first part, if you see P1, let's check for the P1. P1 is, if you see, we have to go like this, right? We just have to go like this. Okay, so in this case, what is it? It's AC, right? Now, let's check for the P2 part. When I check for the P2 part, right, how it's look like? How it's look like? So it's clockwise direction. Yeah, okay. So what is this? It's an anti-clockwise direction. That is okay. That is okay. So now let's check for the P1, P2 part. When I am a P2, P2 part, now I am standing here. Yeah, that is opposite, right? That's the fulfilled. Now again we have to check for the another line segment and another points, right? Now I am here P2. So just check where your P3 and P4 lie. Both are lying in the down part. Just visualize that part. Both are lying in the down part. It means that P3 is lie in the clockwise direction. Similarly, P4 is also lie in the clockwise directions, right? Both are similar. Both are similar. If both are similar, just visualize that part. When I am here, right? Both are lying in the down part, right? So it means that they are not intersect. So here we have to just return false in that case, right? Okay. So here a last case where we have to check the collinear part, right? So collinear here, it's of two type. The first is non-overlap part, right? I hope you know that what the meaning of collinear. Collinear means simple. That two lines, they are in the same line, they are in the same line, they are in the same path, right? So if you see here, this is your first and this is your second, both are in the same line. Now that's why it's a collinear part. Now in the collinear part we have two types. The first, let's understand with the example. We have non-overlap part. Non-overlap means that two line segment are not overlap with each other, right? So if you see here, okay, so our angle is 180. If you just check the same things with respect to one line segment, check other 2 points, right? So your answer will be look like something which is not correct, right? They are in the same direction. So our output in that case is false, right? Just do the dry run which we are doing previously. Okay, so in the second part, it's a overlap part. If you see here, I know that, yeah, it is collinear. Okay, so we have to check. We have to check is they are overlap or not. Yeah, collinear is okay. We have to check they are overlap or not, because if here it's not overlap, that's why output is 0 in that case. Yeah, so we have to check something points, right? And here I am written either P3, if you see here, P1, P2 is the first line and P3, P4 is the second line we have, right? We have two line segments. Now just have to check either P3 should lie in between P1, P2, right? So here the simple idea is, for example, this is my coordinates with respect to your P1, P2, right? So if P3 should lie in between P1, P2, it means that the coordinates means x3 should be smaller than or greater, right? X3 should be greater than or equal to x1, right? And x3 should smaller than or equal to x2, right? If that condition satisfied and your y coordinates also satisfied now, right? Here just I'm checking the x-axis. We have to check the y-axis also. So that's why we just have to check these points. If these points are valid, right? It means that your second line segment should overlap, right? It's in the something in the middle of that your first line segment. So we just have to check this. I'm just written the one condition where P3 lie in P1, P2, right? So same condition just we have to write in for the this case also, like either P4 lie in the range of P1, P2. Either these two values should lie in this other line segment. Only that in that case we just have to say, yeah, your line is collinear. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, it's also overlap. If it's overlap, we just have to return true in that case also, right? I hope you understand till now, right? Now let's do the coding part. And yeah, I just want to say, like, the video much be more longer, so that's why I just let me explain the step by step, right? So in this question I just request all of you just do the dry run for the case, right? It make more clear to you guys, right? I just explain a bit of it, right? So just do the dry run part. So here in the first case, what I'm doing is, that is my function, right? Main function. So what I'm doing is, I just make O1, O2, O3, O4, right? That four are the points where I am calculating the orientation with respect to that. So here if you see, our P1, P2 and Q1, Q2, it will be in the pair, right? So here it represents the array. Just get the value with the 0 and 1, right? So here I am passing P1, P1, Q1. That will be the first line segment. Let me draw a bit. That is P1, Q1 we have. Okay. And P2 is something here. For example, here we have some endpoints, here we have some endpoints, here we have some endpoints. So what I'm doing is, I'm making a vector, two vectors, and using that vector, I'm checking what's your orientation, right? So let's move to the orientation part. So let me clear. P1 Q1 will be your line, first line, P1 Q1. Now here P2 is your adjacent line ka first point, right? Any point. So in the second part again, P1 Q1 we have, right? P1 Q1 we have. Now I'm checking another point in the O2 part, which is Q2, right? Let's suppose it's Q2 part. Okay. So with respect to this line, I'm asking for the Q2 part, right? Now after that we have the this line, right? Which is P2 and Q2. With respect to this, what I'm asking P1, right? I'm just checking the orientation part with respect to P2, Q2 for the P1. Similarly, in the O4 part, I'm checking for the Q1, right? Let's suppose Q1 here, right? I hope you know that, right? I'm just doing the try in the previous part similarly, right? So now let's check for the orientation part, how it's look like. In the orientation part, here the comments will be telling you the same thing. To find the orientation of order triplets, right? P and Q will be the first your line segment, and with respect to PQ, we just have to check the orientation of R, right? So that we are passing here. Now, with the help of your determinant, we just calculate the value, and if your value is 0, it means that your it's the collinear part, right? Because sine theta, sine 180 will be 0, right? Here I am written that. Else, if your value is greater than 1, it's greater than 0, in that case, it will be 1. Means in the one direction, right? In the one direction. That direction, we just tell like, yeah, it's a clockwise, right? Else, it's 2. It means that in the opposite direction. That represent as counterclockwise, or we can say that anti-clockwise, right? So the orientation will give you the correct value, clockwise, anti-clockwise, either it's a collinear part, right? So yeah, so you have O1, O2, O3, O4, right? You have all the values. Now, if all the values, I know that if all the values are different, right? If all the values are different, it means that these two values are not matched. If they are not matched, it means that they are either clockwise, anti-clockwise, or anti-clockwise, clockwise, right? Means it's not equal. And we just have to check for the another case also, right? Right? We just check with the respect to one line, right? Now we have to check with the respect to this line also, right? In that case also, if O3, O4, they are not matched, again, what I am saying, they both are not matched, right? Either they are clockwise, anti-clockwise, or anti-clockwise, clockwise. If they are not matched, it means that its intersection is there. So what I'm doing is, I simply return 1 in that case, 2 in that case, right? So that's the first case. Now, right? So here the special case is, if any other is 0, if anything, like for example, if O1 is 0, right? So just have to check. That's the case here. So if this is 0, as I said you, if O1, for example, this is O1, you just have to calculate just its opposite value. Yeah, it's there or not, right? So here I'm asking on segment. It's lie on the segment or not, right? Okay, I know that. Yeah, this is the case, right? This is the case. Yeah, this is 0 in worst case. We just have to check that both are on segment or not. So with the help of this value on segment function, again we are passing the same thing P Q R, and just have to check that are in the on segment part or not. So here I am checking is, if Q0 should be less than or equal to max of P0 and R0. Similarly, vice versa, we just have to check they are in the online or not with the help of its coordinates, right? So if it's in the on segment, just return 1. Else O2 is 0, and similarly we just have to check parallelly that on segment part or not, again 1. Else O3, O4, right? So we just have to check all the cases with the help of these 4 lines, right? O1 0 on segment, O2 0 on segment, O30 on segment, O40 on segment. If any case will satisfied, we just have to return true. It means that will be on segment, and they just make 90-degree angle like that, right? So just return, else we just have to return false in that case, right? So here we just have to write the false in that case. So yeah, let's check compile and run it's working or not. Okay, yeah, it's working. Let's submit and check. Yeah, it's working fine. So I hope you understand. So this question is little bit tricky. You just have to do a couple of dry runs by your own, right? So I just request please do the dry run for all the cases, right? Right. So thank you so much.